for Jesus dying on that cross. Amen. The book is Luke, chapter number is 12, verses 16 through 21. Luke 12. Thank God for praise all morning long. Yeah, y'all. I went out there and looked at the marquee. It did say 1509. I wanted to check. Amen. God bless you. Devotional committee just got things rolling. Choir came along and caught on, and y'all just keep them mimers out of here. They just blessed our hearts. Amen. Just good to be in the house of the Lord. Luke 12. Again, reading at verse 16, if you will. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully.
And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do, because I have no room where to store my fruits?
And he said, this will I do. I'll pull down my barns and build greater, and there will I bestow all my fruit and my goods. But God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? So is he that layeth up treasure for himself and is not rich toward God. The flower is fading and the grass certainly is going to wither. But my Lord's word shall not return unto him void. Again, verse 20 says, but God said unto him, thou fool, this night thy soul be required of thee. Then whose shall those things be which thou hast provided? I want to tag this text for a few minutes and talk about, oh, what a night. Oh, what a night. The ability of Jesus to take the canvas of our minds and use words as if they were paintbrushes and paint a picture by simply saying that the grounds of a certain man brought forth plentifully. He paints this picture, this parable that we know as the parable of the rich fool. He's called a fool by God. It is interesting to know that this parable grows out of the master's concern for those of us who would live life to its fullest, that we do not get entangled in the web of covetousness. Antecedent verses tell us that he was interrupted by a man who was concerned about getting more. For he interrupts Jesus and says to him, Master, make my brother divide the inheritance with me. Now, textual evidence does not tell us whether this boy was the younger of the two or the oldest. But what the text does tell us is he wanted more. Because according to the Jewish law, the eldest son would receive 2/3 of an inheritance. And then the younger would receive 1/3. Perhaps it was that it was the younger who felt like he had been mistreated by his father's will and saw a chance to draw Jesus into a family argument. Any help in this house? He says to him, Master, make my brother divide unto me the inheritance. And Jesus, on his way to teaching the lesson about covetousness, teaches us another lesson. That we ought not be so quick and rush and fast and in a hurry to get involved in family squabbles. I wish I had a text here for help here right for a minute. Listen what he says in the text. He said, make my brother divide unto me. And Jesus' response is, man, who made me judge? Who appointed me divider? This is not my business. What's going on between you and your brother is really a civil matter at best. And the best thing for you to do is take it to the court and sue him if that's really what's going on. But he turns then, if you notice, from talking to him, and the Bible says, then turned and said unto them, take heed and beware of covetousness, for man's life does not consist in the abundance of things which one possesses. And then he went on to open up what he just said, because what he just said blew their mind. Because he told them that God does not judge us by what we own. God does not pass by our house and look at the square footage. God does not look in our driveway and get impressed by what we're driving. God does not walk through our closet and say, I like them because of what they wear. God, matter of fact, it was Samuel who said that the Lord does not look at the outward appearance of, I thought I had some help in here, the outward appearance of man, but God looks at our heart. Oh, they want to give Superman credit for having X-ray vision. He got it from God. God looks straight through all that we got on, all our accessories, all our trimmings, and see our heart. And so he says here in the text, he said that the grounds of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. This man experiences now something heretofore he had not experienced, because now his crops are so great until he has a storage issue. Look at the text. It says, the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. And because of that, then he starts thinking within himself. I want to point out to you that this is a very instructive parable. Because first thing that it shows us is that God is good to the wicked as well as the just. The text going to bear out that this man is not a saint. As a matter of fact, when the text closes, it strongly suggests he's an ain't. I wish I had some help here. See, the man was banking on his crops. And that brings me to my first point in the text. I want to look at the man's circumstances, because, see, we got to watch how we respond to the goodness of God. See, some folk, when they're walking, they waving, they talking, want to hold conversation with you, but when they're riding, they won't even blow their horn. See, prosperity will mess you up if you're not rooted and grounded in Jesus. I wonder, could God stand to bless you and not have to take you out? The grounds brought forth plentifully. Verse 17 said, now, being blessed as he was, he starts talking to himself. He holds this little soliloquy here. Let's listen again, if you don't mind. And he thought within himself. And this is his response to God's blessing him. What shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruit. Now the text says the ground brought forth plentifully. The ground did it. I need somebody to see this because I don't want to see this by myself. The Bible says the ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentifully. How did he get the plenty? From the ground. I got 5 people I'm waiting on. They coming. I want to get them on board. If the ground brought forth plentifully, then listen what he says in 17. He thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to store my fruits. They got it. Whatever you have, the Bible said it like this: every good and perfect gift comes down from above. So if you have a blessing, God sent it. If you are blessed, God blessed you. Everything good that we have, it came from God. And this fella loses his mind because he thinks that he owns something. I need to tell somebody on my way here that if you can touch it, see it, taste it, feel it, hear it, it won't last. It has temporary stamp on it. Oh, I know some of y'all some lookers right now, and y'all got it going on, and the skin smooth and hair long and silky and body all muscular and firm. And you banking on that's how you gonna look all of your life. I got news for you. If you keep on waking up, saying good morning, your body is gonna lose its mind and start spreading places that you didn't think it could spread. Start picking up weight. Y'all gonna help me here. Hair gonna go on vacation. Teeth gonna be in the jar. And gonna need eyeglasses to see. And you're going to be singing with the rest of those precious memories. How they ever flood out. I used to be good looking. I came here with hair. Years ago, I had hair. Jet black. Get caught up in this thing if you want to. He lost it because he was taking credit for what God was doing in his life. He says in 18, and he said, this will I do. I'll pull down my barns and build greater. And there will I bestow all my fruit and my goods. Listen, he was not only senile, but selfish. Can I just go on and say it? It's just a shame before God how blessed some of us are, and then how narrow we are in the blessing that we receive. God didn't run your cup over for you then to guard the saucer. I had some help, I'd preach here for a minute. We are blessed and then narrow in our thinking. Hoarding clothes you'll never wear. Got more shoes than I got feet. Talking about Larry, I don't want to fool with you. Right? Got to sit down and think, what did I wear last Sunday? Because I got so much stuff staring at me this Sunday. And here's a fellow over here, my size, that can wear what I got, and I'm so narrow that I tell him I'm praying for him, that the Lord would bless him. This man could have blessed a soup kitchen. He could have blessed some hungry folk. And his mindset is, I'm going to pull down these barns. Build some larger barns. Put all my stuff in there. And then I don't want you to miss this here because I'm in the jump from 18 to 19. But now this is a quantum leap. And I want you to catch it because see, when you land in 19, you're going to just see how crazy this fella is. Because listen what he says now. He said he's going to pull down the barns. I'm going to keep that car. I'm going to buy me another one, but I'm going to keep that one. He said, I'm going to pull down the barns. I'm going to put that couch in the back room. I'm going to get some new furniture for the living room, but I'm not getting that couch the way I may need it. He said, I'm going to pull down the barns. And that microwave right there, I'm going to put it in the back room. I'm going to get another microwave, but okay, I'm not giving that to nobody because that might break it. He said, I'm going to pull down the barns. I got a washer, but see, I'm going to put that one over there in the other room, and then I'm going to get the new washer and put it in the garage, but I ain't getting rid of that one because it still works. He said, I'm going to pull down. I'm going to pull down these barns. And I'm going to build some more so I can store all my stuff. Because God sent it to me, and I'm not giving none of this to nobody. This is mine. And then he jumps now. You ready to jump? We're going to jump from 18 to 19 now. Get your Bible. I don't want you to miss this because I ain't got time for you slow folk there, y'all. Come on. I'm telling you, you're going to jump. Get ready, get ready, get ready. If I miss you when we jump to 19, I'm going to catch you when I come back around. I ain't going to wait on you. I got to go. They looking at me like they're hungry. I got to go. Then he says in verse 19, and I will say to my soul, how you going to feed a soul with cantaloupe, tomato, and okra? Look what he said. I'll say to my soul. Can I tell you, soul do not eat okra, collard greens, fatback, pork chop, ham hocks, whatever you want to feed it. Then I'll say to my soul, I'm going to have my bank book, and it's going to balance. I'm going to have some money left over. I'm going to say to my soul, though, I won't tell somebody in this room, you do have a soul. But the soul that you have is spiritual. In that which it takes, it has to have a relationship with God to keep on living in peace. See, because look, the word said, Dominique, that when we die, the body going back to the earth from whence it come, but the soul going on to God. And I see folk day in and day out that spend more time on their body than they do their soul. Can I say it like this? Your body lives in a nice house. Your body rides in a nice car. Your body, you want to make sure it looks its best, whatever that is. When you go out in public, you always bathing on it, accessorizing it, putting smell good on it, and working on it, getting manicures and pedicures and hair done. All that stuff is on the body. And when you go to see God, the record is flesh and blood. See, look, the rich man died the other day. Another rich man, he died. And there was a discussion about it. I said, man, you know, oh, big money Paul went in. Said, oh, man, Paul had some kind of stuff. Say, what did he leave? The fellow said he left everything. It's why he put him in one of them Goodwill suits. And put him on in that hole, and he left everything. Can I get a picture here? Can I paint this for you? When you go, and you're going, yes, you're going, when you go, everything that you own gonna be left here. You think I'm lying? Call the funeral home. And say, funeral home, I just want to know if I went, what would you need for me to go? They're going to tell you just one suit of clothes, and shoes are optional. One, by law, we have to dress you. That's a waste, but we have to dress you by law. One suit of clothes and shoes are optional. But hey, man, I got all this stuff. One outfit, Miss Hawkins. That's all he needs. And the shoes are, see, my wife be like, should I put him in the brown shoes? Should I put him in the black shoes? Should I put him in the blue shoes? Should I put him in the gray shoes? And the Martin say, look, he ain't gonna have no shoes. Because where the body is going, he won't need them. I think I'm catching some folk attention here. And say, now, when I die, I'm going to see who drive. I don't. The contract that Sister Hawkins and I have unto death do we part. If I go first, I've done my part. Now, if she get crazy and get with another joker and get remarried, that's on her. I ain't looking back over here to tell my Lord, let me see who she with. Or I get to heaven, Mama be so glad to get there. I ain't looking back for none of y'all. Listen, we got to understand this thing, that what we have right now is right now, but it does not transfer. It does not transfer. Check all your stuff at the grave. Job said it like this. I'm not making this stuff up. This ain't no Cracker Jack stuff come from Walmart. Naked came I in. Can I get a couple of sisters to help me? Y'all know something about this. Your baby didn't come here with no clothes. That's why they told you to bring a receiving blanket. Naked came I in to the world, and naked shall I return. See, look, listen to me. If what you are wearing somehow picks up your spirit and make you feel like that you're a little bit more than somebody else, you need to come a little closer to understand that the clothes don't make the man make the clothes. So the man's circumstances is he's blessed beyond measure, and he's lost his mind, and he's having this conversation with himself, and all of a sudden he gets interrupted by God. And that brings me to my second point in the text. Not only do I see the man's circumstances, but I see the man's character. Because God addresses him. And listen, it was no accident that God addresses him the way he does. Because see, listen what this fool said. This is what I say to my soul. Soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years. Take thine ease. Eat, drink, and be merry. That's what he said to his soul. Soul has never eaten any food. Soul has never drank any drink. But that's what we think that, man, see, man, if I win the lottery, man, I tell all y'all where to go. I'd just be set. I wouldn't have to hit a lick at a stick. I wouldn't have to do nothing. It'll solve all my problems. We'll get some time and study those who have won. And see how many have said it was a curse than it was a blessing. The Lord promised to supply our every need. And if we do what he tells us to do, he'll give us sometimes the desires of our heart. But God's not going to bless you so you can be mean to other folk. But God said unto him. Now we know God knew his name. He knows everybody's name. He knows your name. He knows you so well. He knows the number of hairs on your head. You're important to him, but he does not address him by John, by Bill, by Bob. He says, thou fool. Now you know you're a fool when God called you a fool. Thou fool. This man thought he had forever. And he was on the pickup list tonight. He thought he was going to do his own thing because his crops came in and he had all this money to deal with. But look what God asked him. God says, thou fool. This night, thy soul is required. Now, he never got round to building. That was all in his head. He said to himself. God interrupts his thoughts and makes it plain to him that tonight you leaving here. He said, I heard you asking yourself these questions about what you're going to do with your barns. I heard you asking yourself what you're going to do about all of your crops. Now I heard your conclusion to the matter was you'd pull down those barns and you would then build new barns. But I want to raise just one question for you tonight. Because where you're going, you will not need barns. I want to raise a question with you tonight because where you are heading, you won't need crops. I need to raise one question tonight with you because where you're going, there will be no drinking and being merry. Do you hear me? And I want to tell somebody, you got to understand that YOLO is not the way it's going to go. Because my young people need to hear me today. You on Snapchat talking about you only live one time. But I got news for you. You're going to wake up dead because you keep on living. Do I have any witnesses here who know that when you die, you're not done? When you close your eyes here, you're going to open your eyes over there. And the question is, where will you be standing when you get on the other side? Just in case you think I'm making this up, this same book, Luke, in chapter 16, there was a rich man who thought he only lived once. But the Bible said he died, didn't he do it? Lord, he died. And when he died in hell, he lifted up his eyes. Do you hear me? The Lord said to him, I want to know whose barns shall these be? Whose crops shall these be? Because tonight you're on your way out of here. The Lord said, thou fool, do you hear me? And that's what you are if you're living like there is no God. You better be sure that there is no God. I made up in my mind, I'm going to take a chance with Jesus. I'm going to trust in the Lord and see ain't he the one who's able to get me out of here alive. Too many people have said, I don't have no time for no church. I don't want to hear no preaching. I don't want to deal with no Bible. But I tell you today, if that's your position, be sure that you're right. If you're living like there's no hell, you better be right. Because I got a sneaky suspicion that when the time is over down here, you're going to find out that there is a God. Do you hear me? And he's a righteous judge. Yes, Lord, if you call him now, you can be saved. But if you wait till you die, it's going to be too late. The Lord said, thou fool. That brings me to my third point here. I told you about his circumstances. He was doubly blessed beyond measure. And he took his blessings and he turned them, yes, Lord, into false security. Do you hear me? And then the Lord called him a fool because he never understood. It was the Lord who blessed the ground. It was the Lord who blessed the seed. It was the Lord who sent the rain. It was the Lord who sent the sunshine. It was the Lord who made the crop grow. It was the Lord who blessed him. But he said, I'm going to say to my soul, I got it made in the shade. Do y'all hear me? God calls him a fool. And you got to be a fool when you can't see the Lord working in your life. You got to be a fool when you don't know it was the Lord who woke you up this morning, clothed in your right mind. You got to be a fool if you think that little money in your pocket has got you set. You got to be a fool if you think that where you live make you somebody. I want to tell you, you better get right with God before it's everlasting too late. That brings me to my third point. I see his climax. He was getting ready to live and God had him ready to die. He was going to eat, drink, and be merry, but the Lord was getting ready to set him on fire. I wish I had a witness here. It was sudden and unexpected. He died and left all those barns. But listen what Jesus said. If you want to do it right, do you hear me? Let some stuff go, but hold on to God's unchanging hand. Let some people go, but hold on to God's unchanging hand, because he will give you joy unspeakable. Won't he do it? I need 5 of y'all. I'm going to be number 6, who was down to your last dime, but the Lord picked you up, made a way out of no way. Anybody here know he's real? If you know he's real, just wave your hand and shout, yeah! Shout it, yeah! Yeah! He's real. He's is real. And don't let what you have and where you live and what you drive think you bigger than God. The Lord asked him, whose shall these things be that you have provided? Because this night, your soul is required. And all of us in this room, as strong as some of us may feel right now, have a date with death. It's appointed unto men once to die. And since you know you got to do it, it just makes sense to get ready. It makes sense to get ready. How do you get ready, preacher? I'm glad you asked. For your family, you buy some insurance. Get enough to bury you, and then get enough to replace you. If you're the head of your house and you making 6 figures, get some 6-figure insurance. So your wife won't have to be trying to figure out how she gonna make it. Get some insurance for your family. Get enough to bury you and enough to replace you. That's what you do for your family. But for yourself, you need an assurance. Blessed assurance. Now, the insurance gonna cost you a little bit, but it's worth it. Because when you close your eyes, your family gonna need it. But the assurance is free. Do I have anybody here know salvation is free? Jesus paid the price way back on Calvary when he died for our sin and got up Sunday morning with all power in his hands. Salvation is free. But you need to be very sure that your soul is anchored in the Lord. You got to know this for yourself. Because one of these days our eyes will close. And we'll move from the busy walks of life. And as they said in the old church, we're going to try the reality of a world unknown to man. And since I got to go, I got my ticket. What about you? Some of y'all mighty cool. I got my ticket. What about you? Is your business fixed? It'd be a shame to leave all that money for your family and then don't have an assurance for yourself. This man died unprepared. Want to challenge each one of us in this room this morning to know that we all will have a night. It may be in the morning, maybe at night, maybe in the middle of the day. I don't know when he's coming. But when the Lord calls, we've all got to answer. And it just behooves you to be ready. So the Lord won't call you a fool, but he'll say servant. He won't call you a fool, but he'll say servant. You've been faithful over a few things. Come on. Come on up high, and I'll make you ruler over many. This man depended on material things. Church, use them, but don't depend on them. Clothes wear out, cars break down, houses tear up, stuff quit working. Build your hopes on things eternal. God bless you. The door is open. We extend an invitation to Christian discipleship. If you're here and never been saved, never been baptized in your life, and you want to accept Jesus, deacons are standing in the aisle to welcome you. You can come now. Give your heart to Jesus. Confess hope in him, and he'll save your soul. If you're here and you're already saved, but you don't have a church to call your church home, you can come on your Christian experience. And if you're here and you are saved and the Lord is leading you from a church of like faith, you can come by letter. If you're here, will you come? The deacons are welcoming you. The church is praying for you in the balcony. If you're not sure that God is your God, right now may be the best chance you'll ever have. That rich man was putting off planning for what he was going to do another day. And the Lord told him this night, your soul is required.
Though the storms keep on raging, my life.
Is there another who need to respond?
And sometimes it's hard to tell.
Thank you, brother. And congregation may be seated. Stay with me to the benediction if you can, please.
Still that hope that lies within is reassured as I keep my eyes upon that distant shore. I know he'll lead me safely to that blessed place he has prepared. But if the storms don't cease, and if that wind keeps on blowing in my life, my soul has been anchored in the Lord. Though the storms keep on raging in my life, and sometimes it's hard to tell the night from day, still that hope that lies within is reassured as I keep my eyes upon that distant shore. I know he'll lead me safely to that blessed place he has prepared. Oh, but if the storms don't cease, and just in case the wind keeps on blowing in my life, my soul, yes, has been anchored in the Lord. Oh, I realize sometimes in this life we're gonna be tossed by the waves and the currents that seem so fierce. But in the Word of God, I have an anchor. Yes, I do. And it keeps me steadfast and unmovable despite the tide. But if storms don't cease, and just in case the wind keeps on blowing in my life, my soul has been anchored in Yeah, my soul has been